Right, good morning, welcome back. Okay, made a little test piece, aluminium thread repair. Today's video, what I'd like to do is test, as many of you have asked, whether these Alu-Weld rods can be used to repair a broken thread. If you've got something stripped out horribly, there's not enough meat on that piece of metal to drill it out larger and put a thread insert in, you just have to fill it up with liquid weld, file it off and re-tap it into fresh metal. Is the fresh metal that you would achieve from these welding rods good enough for the job? Is it, as they claim in the blurb, stronger than the parent metal? Well, today I want to try and find out. I want to try and do another experiment. It's not scientific, but it will be hopefully like for like. I've got this little piece of billet aluminium slot here. I've threaded it out to 10mm metric. I'm going to try and see with the torque wrench what that bolt takes to strip. We're going to go to about 40 Newton meters straight away because that's brake caliper. It'll always take that. 50, 60, 70, 80, we're going to go up and up until eventually I strip that thread out completely, and we'll find out, make a note at what level of torque pressure that 10mm coarse thread stripped. Then I'll bore it out to 13mm, make a fat massive hole, fill it up with this Alu-Rod, drill it, tap it to 10mm again. So I'm then tapping and drilling into this liquid metal. And we'll see if it truly is as strong as this was. So the torque setting at the end should be the same or better than the torque setting at the beginning. So let's find out a benchmark first, what it takes in torque pressure to strip out that 10mm thread. Shouldn't take much, it's aluminium. I'm guessing around the 60 Newton meters mark that should strip. So let's do that first, get ourselves a level playing field, and then we'll fill it up with that rod and see if it's the same. Right, first of all, we'll start at 40 Newton meters. 50. 55. 60. 70 Newton meters, this should do it. 70. Nope, that's gone. No click. So 65 Newton meters, fine. 70, it just spins and spins. See what it looks like in there. Okay, there's a bit of the thread. That's what we all love. Get that out of the way. Have a little look down in there. That is royally ruined. There we go. Threads coming out all over the place. Right, so we know that the parent metal can take 65 Newton meters, but not 70. So now, as that's good for nothing, we're going to drill that through, but I'm going to go through it with 14mm. I'm going to use a big blacksmith's drill, get through there with 14mm and make it a big hole to put plenty of this material in there, because when I drill the next hole at 10mm, I want this stuff all the way around the outside. I don't want any interference with the parent metal. We're going to drill that through, tap down the inside of it to give it a little bit of a purchase, and when that liquid stuff is in there, I purely want to drill and tap into this and nothing else. And that will then give us a bench test to see whether or not this can take 65 Newton meters or more. Right, there it is, filled, drilled and tapped, and as you can see, it taps out beautifully. Look how absolutely stunning that thread is. It's completely flawless, no nicks in it or anything. Let's see if this is as strong as the previous piece was. Let's see if it can take 65 Newton meters or more. $35. 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, moment of truth. Oh, got it. 70. Right, this is the point where the previous parent metal thread gave up at 70 Newton meters. It's equaled it, 65 Newton meters, absolutely equal to the parent metal. Now we're at 70. Let's see if it fails. It's gone right by. 72. 74, no, that's gone. That's it, it's gone at 74. Right. Okay, let's take the bolt out, see what the mess looks like inside. As we can see there, that's pulled the thread clean out in bits. Stripped. Okay, in conclusion, yes, it strips out at a slightly higher torque value. Not much, just a few Newton meters more, but I don't think that's the issue. I think what we found out from drilling it is that the swarf comes out like steel swarf. It doesn't come out like aluminium swarf. No curly, long strands like you get with aluminium. It's just boiling out like tiny chips. Now, I believe that's because the material itself is harder and more brittle than aluminium. And that's potentially where they probably say in the blurb that it's stronger than the parent metal. Well, it's certainly harder, that's for sure, because tapping it took a few more passes to get it through, and drilling it, it definitely felt more like steel than aluminium. And maybe that's a good thing, but think about fatigue. Think about long term. If you're going to bolt something onto your bike that vibrates, could it potentially rip those threads out with just vibration alone? If a thread is brittle and hard, is it liable to crack more readily later on down the line? Is it more susceptible to fatigue than aluminium, which is wonderfully flexible? So I think this test has proved that yes, you can drill it and fill it and tap it, but I don't think it makes as good a thread as the original parent metal. And personally, I would rather go out one size to the parent metal nice and clean and put a stainless steel insert in there, which I think will be a far more reliable way to repair a thread than filling it with this liquid metal and then drilling and tapping it. But obviously, if this is all you've got, and it's absolutely non-critical, certainly nothing to do with the brakes or the suspension or anything that needs strength or vibration focused, then yeah, I would probably use it if I was really stuck. But there we are, it's just another tool in the box, another thing you could use. But certainly, my opinion at the end of this test is if you want to repair a thread, go for a thread cert or a helicoil and something that's a proper conventional, normal way to repair a thread. This is a ghetto fix and they're great in their place. So there we are. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. Take it easy, ride safe. And we'll see you for the next one. Some more fun on the project.